We don't need no stinking mirroring. Oh, I should have washed my hands. Look at this. I don't know what to do with my hands. Switching it up a little bit tonight. Today. Gina, what do you think? It's cold outside. I don't have firewood, so here's what it is. It's been a while. I had the kerosene heater going in the shop, but I've got to open the door to have internet, and it's so cold. There was snow on my jacket when I walked from the shop over to here. I don't know what's going on. This is the room that I consider the memorabilia room. This is my contemplation room. Sometimes I'll sit back here on the couch and edit videos. It's where I get the best internet. Thank you, John Tack. I came up with a name for you, so I hope you like it. This room is separate from the shop. It's a different structure out here at AuxAuto Land, which is what I call my whole complex. You know, it's easier for me to remember. Gina's the brawler. John Tack is tactical Yukon. Yeah, I'll just call you whatever. You can call me anything you want. Don't call me that. Yeah, Gina, it's funny because really what I was going to do was just kind of, I think I was talking about it earlier, but I was going to just kind of live for a little bit during the day and see what was going on Sunday. Because you know how it tracks your analytics, so you can kind of see what people are tuning in or not, if they are, if they aren't. And I was just going to move some cars around, and then I realized, I thought how easy it was going to be to take that bed off that Ford. Obviously, that turned into a 5-hour project because I think my whole live stream was 5 hours long. But yeah, I did get a lot done, and I like that. Sometimes I come out here and I don't do hardly anything, and sometimes I need that, but I feel bad when I don't do anything. But while I'm not doing anything, I feel good because sometimes I just need to sit and relax and just clear my brain, and then nothing gets done. But yeah, I like it. I like when I get stuff done. Feels good. It's good for the soul. John Tack, I bought I wanted to buy one of those because you know how the real flux capacitor, matter of fact, let me just show you on the diagram. On the real flux capacitor, the lights go from like, they go bleep, bleep, they blink. So I didn't want to spend $900 on one, so I built my own. But I got those LED strips, and you can't do them like in sequence, so they just glow. Yeah, meow, it's another green. So I changed my green screen. I took down all of the poles and the green blankets, and then I put myself in a room. I do need some plutonium. I've got the schematic for the flux capacitor. I've got the save the clock tower and the official license plate. Not the official. I think it was Christmas 2 years ago. I think my little brother got me this. But it's got like the whole, it's got all the little accoutrements from the show. The license plate. The, see if I can do this on there. The disappearing picture. The, Dr. E. Brown Enterprises. These are going to be backwards on YouTube. There's a bunch of little things in there, but the... hold on, I got to get some of this out. The Sports Almanac bag. A little pamphlet for Hill Valley. Hey, we'll just go through this whole thing. How about that? It's got the 1955 memorabilia folder. I need to hold this here so I can see the words. I think then everybody would love the 84 Nissan Maxima. The Enchantment Under the Sea, Dance, promo. Downtown shopping for Hill Valley. Marty's parents. The General Lee's in the shop, and you can't really walk over there because it's like, apparently it's snowing now. I don't know. And then we've got the 1855 folder. It's got the, I thought there was an actual sports almanac in there. Basically just like a bunch of wanted posters. Biff, Mad Dog Tannen. An advertisement for the hoverboard. Anyway, it's cool. Time travel memories. All right, Meow. I appreciate you hanging out. I got a different green screen this time. I was just trying to mix it up. Yeah, I thought there was a dang old dang. Oh, hey, whoever wanted to see the General Lee, here you go. I made this and I hung it up from my ceiling like it was jumping. They all been destroyed. My top 3 cars were always the Charger, a 69 Chevelle, and a 56 Bel Air. This was the Chevelle that I built. Oh, I should put this in the background so I can be like those Lambo kids. It's also mine. I've got a couple. I mean, it's not quite the General. It's not the real thing. This one had these buttons on the back of it that you could push, and it would be the Dixie horn, and I think the engine. Charles, that is all stuff that I've hung on to since I was a kid. Like, ever since I used to build model cars and stuff. And when I moved all my stuff out here to Auxland, I just put it all out here. Like, I've got the Dale Earnhardt truck and trailer, a bunch of NASCAR stuff, die-cast cars, memorabilia, street signs. Just a bunch of rando stuff. I kept everything from my childhood except for the 268 Chargers. That was the one when I was a kid, man. That was the Lambo. No, it's where I come to get away from everything, Gina. I do stay here quite often, but I've got a house a little bit away from here. That's where I do the background that's got the TV in it. Over on YouTube, Cinder, hello. Yes, on YouTube, you were the only one watching. The old CRT TVs. What is that? Is it something back there? I've got some ham radios back there. Can I get to my chat right now? I don't know. I think it'll cut me off. Oh yeah. Remember the big old TVs that were the wooden ones that were on the swivel? They weighed like 430 pounds, and you actually had to have 3 people come deliver it to you at your house. John Tech, you got a ham radio? Oh, whoops. Forgot to put my canned water in my... I don't have my license, but I've got a couple of radios from the 50s and a couple of Morse code generators. That's cool. I want to finish that because I would like to have one. Matter of fact, out here, this building that I'm in's got 3 stories to it, and on the side of it, there's a TV antenna. It's got one of those, like, I don't know what you call them, but they're whatever you would put a ham radio antenna on. The metal kind of triangle thing that goes up all 3 stories. But I could put a heck of an antenna on there. Plus, I'm like 1,500 feet elevation up here. Even on my CB in the truck, I'm usually picking up Arizona, California, which is kind of crazy because I've got a short antenna, but I feel like I could get some I could communicate. One of these ham radios, I think it's from the 60s. It somebody fixed it, the power to it, so it actually turns on. I wonder if I don't know if I have it plugged in or not. No, I don't. But even though it doesn't work and I don't have a license, it still looks cool when all the gauges are lit up. Yeah, well, I would hope that you didn't. Oh my God, my finger's burning. I should probably take it off of that hot thing. See, if you don't ever wash your hands and they start looking like this, then you smell the oil burning before you burn your skin. It's a safety protocol. That's what I'm doing. Kay's like, I had an emergency. Let me get on TikTok so I can ask my dad. Sorry, Kay. All right, well, thanks for coming in, Kay. Get well soon. No, Carson, I changed my green screen. I made it look like a memorabilia room. I'm not kidding you, it went from 60 degrees to 20 degrees. Since nobody's, that's crazy. I haven't even done my spiel. Usually I'm in the shop and I get the Charger, the Roadrunner, the 68, 74, a couple other projects. But AuxAuto is an automotive nonprofit that provides financial mechanical assistance to people that depend on their transportation for living. I basically pay the shop bills for people that can't afford to make their vehicle safe or operational, and I come in here, showcase some of my stuff. Hopefully get people to follow, subscribe, join this journey that I'm on. But it's so cold out there. I didn't start a fire because I don't have any wood because I didn't prepare. And so I got the kerosene heater out there to keep the cars warm. And then I came in here because I've been talking about this room too for a while. Matter of fact, this whole building. We could take a tour of it. But this is the one that I sleep in. I've got it like a memorabilia room. There's a tractor barn attached to it. The Imperial's in this one too. I could show you the Imperial if I don't lose any signal. And then I've got a music room up on the top floor. Yeah, Gina the Brawler. It is climate controlled. It didn't work for a while, but this young lady who helped me pretty much build this place knows somebody that's in HVAC, and they came out and they're like, oh, it's this little thing right here, it's broken, and they put it in and they fixed it. Man, I've got all that stuff from that Ford truck still all over me. Richie Rich, I missed that. That was one that you used to have, the 79. I think I remember you talking about that yesterday, maybe. Man, I still got dirt from that Ford in my eyes too. Probably should have taken a shower. be real crazy. Oh man. Ugh. Oh yeah. This is how much I care. Thank you for being here. Oh man. Pardon me. I do not have a C10. But just like everything, I want it. I want all of them. Yeah, when I was trying to get that. That was the majority of today, was that one bolt. The one bolt that held the bed on. And the other problem with it is I couldn't get to it with the cutting tool. And for some reason, that plasma cutter that I use, it keeps overloading itself. And I haven't figured out what that is. It's probably something that I'm doing. Oh, what's up, Van Goat? I remember Van Goat. Yeah, that was towards the end of it. I spent the majority of it on that one bolt, heating it. I broke 2 tools. I broke one of those elbows. Of course, I was using it on an impact. You're not really supposed to do that. And then I broke a fixed socket. So yeah, I broke things. I broke things today. Weekend's going good, Van Goat. Thanks for asking. Getting stuff done, hanging out over here in the different room than the shop today because it's so freaking cold outside. Uh-oh. Van Goat's talking junk. Yeah, Rich, the problem is you couldn't get you for sure couldn't get an angle grinder in there because it was in the top part of the C of the frame, so it was right here, and there wasn't enough room to cut it off straight, and you couldn't get an angle grinder in there because the exhaust pipe was right here, and even if you had an angle grinder, you wouldn't be able to get it up to where that was because of the frame. So it was kind of daunting. Eventually, I just got the plasma cutter and I melted it off. I should have probably just done that first. Hey, Gina said take some heat to it. So I took all the heat. What's up, Moore's Garage? I would show your sticker off, but it's in the other, it's in the shop. I'm over here in a different room because it's so cold out and I didn't want to be chilly. Yeah, Richie, something like a shotgun that just like emits a burst of melting metal. Thank you for the cowboy hat. Moore's Garage. Thanks for the mustache and the cowboy hat. I appreciate it. What's that Ford saying? What's up, Brand One over on YouTube? I've still got TikTok on one device and YouTube on the other. So occasionally it's going to sound like I'm talking to somebody that doesn't exist. I also got a shotgun. But I don't want to get banned. So where are we all meeting up next summer? This summer. What is it right now? September? October. It's November, right? It's already the middle of the month. 3, 4, 5, 9. What is the date today? Ice Drags in Merrill, Wisconsin. Does anybody watch midget racing and familiar with the Chili Bowl? Yes, I thought it was the 9th. Oh, yeah. I should have known that it was the 9th because yesterday when I got out here, I didn't get out till about 12:30, but I was making dinner on the grill like I usually do, and I heard this god-awful scraping, and it was so loud, and it was coming off in the distance, and it was so frightening that I ran behind the shop because I didn't know what it was. I thought like some thing was coming to take me back to the motherland, and it got louder and louder, and it was so loud. And finally, it comes on the road. This dude is hauling a trailer with no wheels on it. And it's just dragging like 10 feet of sparks behind it. And he's just like, and the trailer's going like, and he turns down the road. And I stand there in front of the shop doors and I just listen to it. And it sounds like he's just like rolling the thing. I don't know what's going on. But he just dragged the thing for like 5 miles. Of course, you know, it's an enclosed trailer, so everything sounds louder. It's like a big subwoofer. Oh, so I was looking for it on video, and I found it, but I should have known that because I was looking at the 9th, in the morning. It was pretty cool. I got it on. I got a bunch of cameras around here, but I pulled it up on the camera. And it's pretty cool because, like on surveillance cameras at nighttime, the heat it shows a little bit more than it really is. So it looks like there's just a fireball coming out of the back of it. It's pretty funny. Here, I got stuff in here I can talk about. These little lug nuts. Back in about 2005, 2006, I was part of this movie project that we took a friend of ours out to the West Coast to get his wheelchair customized on the show that was popular at the time called Pimp My Ride. And we made a movie about it. And then we went on the film festival circuit. We won a bunch of like 27 film festival awards. And then sponsorship from Delta used to fly us around the country. And Richard Petty's family found out about it, and they had a Dodge dealership, so they invited the whole crew down to the race at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2006, I think it was. And we got to go to the drivers' meeting, which was kind of cool because I kind of trailed off of NASCAR by then, but that was still when Jimmy Johnson and Earnhardt and I think Kyle Busch was racing. But anyway, the people that I knew that I'm sitting there watching in this drivers meeting, and it was really pretty cool. But we got to go down to the pits, and we met Richard Petty. Richard Petty wasn't racing because he retired a long time ago. It was Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty was driving the Cheerios car, and his car came into the pits. One of the crew gave us like the set of lug nuts off his car. I'm pretty sure NASCAR uses like the one lug thing now, right? Or do they still use 5? I don't remember. But anyway, and they were still warm, which was cool because they just came off the car. So Darius got 2 of them. I got 2 of them, and I don't know where the other one is. But being one of those kids that have been in a NASCAR forever, it was cool getting a set of lug nuts that were still warm off of the car as it came into the pits. It was pretty neat. Matter of fact, I think I've got a. Hang on. Yep. So we got to meet Richard Petty, and one of his managers or publicists or something like that was like, he's just gonna say "yeah, buddy" a lot because he's his hearing's a little rough after however many years of NASCAR racing. So he comes out of his trailer and he's got that hat on, and I was like, man, I don't know what I said, probably some fanboy thing. He's like, "Yeah, buddy." But anyway, he signed a bunch of these for us, which is cool. Yeah, buddy. I think I gave one to a friend. I kept one of them, but I think I had 3 of them. Oh, what's up, Kay? I think he was still racing at the time. I was even driving a truck. I was working at Lowe's at the time, and as everybody was leaving the drivers' meeting, I got Jimmy Johnson's attention and say, "Hey, just to let you know, I drive for Lowe's also." And he was like, "Get away from me, psycho stalker." And but I told him he was going to win, and then he did win. And we got to sit in Winner's Circle when he pulled in there, which was cool. They take like 12 pictures of all these different hats and sponsors, and we got a picture of us in the Winner's Circle with Jimmy Johnson. I don't know where it exists, but I can't find it. But a couple of years ago, I found that race on TV, and I zoomed in to where we were standing, and I can see us standing there, which is the only proof I have of it. But I know that picture somewhere. But I would love to have it framed out here. That movie project was kind of my introduction into the nonprofit stuff. So I kind of got to see how the business works and like roles and responsibilities and audits and all that kind of stuff, which was pretty neat. Which was kind of one of the precursors to AuxAuto. Because I was like, I would love to do something like this at some point, but have it to do with automotive or cars. And then in 2021, I finally started it. And here I am promoting it and hanging out with my new friends. Oh, there was another thing from it. Because it was all Nextel. We got a whole bunch of hats. I've just got stuff in here that I've just not ever gotten rid of. Yeah, I heard that, David. We were talking about that because they were starting. I saw a car. They were talking about getting back into NASCAR, and then somebody else had chimed up saying that they're back in. The trucks are back in, which is cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think I guess I get too attached to sentimentally attached to things. Speaking of sentimentally attached, um, I used to have two 68 Chargers, and I sold them in 2003 for $3,500. Two of them for $3,500 to buy a wedding ring, and I never bought the ring. She married my roommate, so everything worked out good. But then when I got back into working on cars, because I spent the majority of a lot of time raising my kid, which she was in her earlier, she burned her finger, which was the best thing that I could have ever done in my whole entire life in the existence of the universe. But when I was looking for another charger, she ended up finding these pictures of the two Chargers that I sold in 2003. The green one was a runner. It had a 383 in it. It was an AC car. And the white one, it's a better picture of the white one. The only bad spot on it was the one in the picture in that rear fender. Other than that, all the metal had been fixed and replaced. And I sold those two cars for $3,500. So when she, it wasn't a stroker. It was just a regular 383, but it was the original engine. So that green car was an original engine Dodge Charger 68. But when she found these pictures, I got physically sick to my stomach because I was like, my gosh, those two cars could have paid for her whole college. But it worked out okay because I ended up tracking down the guy that bought it and giving him a bunch of stuff that I still had for it, connecting him with the person that we got it from in Tennessee, but he got it from a guy in Texas. So he connected those two dots, and he was able to track the genealogy all the way back to California. Oh, in this car, it used to be named Balls to the Wall. It's like a show and tell. I kind of like this. A little different format. Humpback Sadie. So you know the General Lee that's in the background usually when I'm in the shop? What's up, Migu? Over on YouTube. Sorry, I got TikTok on one and I got YouTube on the other, and sometimes I kind of forget to say hi to everybody. This is what it used to look like. That was in like 1997. Matter of fact, in this picture, if you look way up here, that's the very front of the white 68. They were all parked up there on the hill. It did. It was a white hat special. It was originally like a B5 blue and with a vinyl top on it. You know how most of the time they put those vinyl tops on there and to cover up the seam between the quarter panel and the roof. This was after I took the engine out. Like that's the same interior. Whenever I'm showing the interior of the General Lee, it's the same one. And this was no, it's not. But yeah, that's the same interior. Whenever I'm showing the pictures of the General. Sure, I want to hear a joke about constructions. More interior pictures. Oh, that was I guess you can't tell it in there. That was the hood though. The two hood scoops were painted black, which was pretty cool. And then it had that black racing stripe around the back of it, which is pretty neat. Oh, there's a better picture of the racing stripe. Had some body issues. So yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of pictures because this was when you took pictures and then you had to get it developed, but that was the engine once I took it out. Me working on the car, right there. Dale Earnhardt hat. Trunk looked good. That's pretty much it. And I even kept the roll of film. Like, remember when you had to take this and get it developed? Ah, Migu. Over on YouTube says you want to hear a joke about construction. And the joke is, I'm sorry, I'm still working on it. That sounds like Nashville. Damn. I've got some, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to mess this thing up. What do you call a cop car being towed behind a tow truck? It donut work? I don't know. What is it? Ah, I get it. Yeah. Technically, it would be pulling pork. Because you'd have to have parked it for it to be pulled. But I still get it. What's up, Stub? Just hanging out here promoting my automotive nonprofit, talking about some sentimental accoutrements that I've amassed over the years. Some model cars, Back to the Future stuff, flex capacitors, pictures of old cars. I gotta find something else and pull a story out of it. Oh, Gina, absolutely, I do. You know, I'll take a tour of this place if you want to see it, but the second floor needs the lava lamp. I'll do it in a little bit because if I get to the third floor and then I lose signal and it cuts off, then I'll just call it a night. Wait, is that a hand? You mean this one? James probably got like 30 lava lamps. Yeah, I do. Need more neon signs, like real ones. I'll be right back. It sounds like it's sleet on the metal roof. It's very possible, Richie. Man. It's just about snowing outside. No. I've got a camera or a phone holder, camera holder thing. And then a couple other cars. NASCAR stuff. I mean, technically there's one right here. If I held it right here like this. I guess so. I knew it was supposed to get cold. But not like this. Yeah, I got some Coke. You want to see my Coke stash? The Jeff Gordon Coca-Cola. Nicholas, well, technically, yes, I'm in my room, but it's not a room I sleep in. Well, that's not true either. Sometimes I sleep on that couch back there. Sometimes I take naps on that couch back there, and sometimes I lay there and edit videos, and sometimes I just lay there and contemplate, what should I do next? Yes, it is like a man cave, but I call it a man complex, which I guess could be kind of taken out of context. But the shop is another building. This is a different one. It's got different things going on in it. And yes, everybody needs a flux capacitor. What's up, 6'7"? What's up, bro? Over on YouTube. I think I saw you earlier, and I was working on the truck. I'll tell you what I'll do in like, I don't know, maybe in 10 minutes. We'll do a little walk around if you're interested. Because I do like to showcase the things that I have an interest in. Yeah, Luke, I had to change the green screen for today because everybody started believing me about the cars in the background. So I was like, I got to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to change it up. What about 1985? 1985? Oh, that's not even. My phone's about to die. Oh, John Tech. I guess I should have known that because you had KJ4 over on TikTok. Van Goat, happy 20th birthday. $1968, man. What a great year for music. What a great year for cars. 2011, you mean like 2 years ago? I'm just kidding. Van Gogh was born when the Beatles showed up over here. Chase, this is more of a man complex. So I've got a shop where I usually do these lives from, but today it decided to go from 60 degrees to negative 400 in about 20 minutes. So, and I didn't adequately prepare, so I didn't have I heat my shop with a wood burning stove. I got a kerosene one in there keeping the cars warm, but in order to have internet, I got to have the door open. So usually I'm out there. And then this is like my little sitting room. It's my tea room. And then I sleep on the next floor, and then I've got a music room on the third floor. So it kind of is. It's a man cave. It's a person cave because if you want to come out here, we can hang out. Just don't come here when I'm not here because that'll get you into some trouble. It smells good in right spaces. Tight spaces, I bet. It is monitored 24/7, and the county has free reign to come park here whenever they want to. And they do occasionally. There's sort of a guest room. There's a couch. I mean, technically, you could sleep in the back seat of the 68. Cooking with Shotgun Red. Is that a real show? If it is, I want to. That sounds like something that I would enjoy. Cooking with Shotgun Red. Come on, Van. I do kind of want to open up this place. Well, so first of all, AuxAuto, my automotive nonprofit. I think everybody that's actually in here knows what that is, so I'm not going to bore you with that speech. But the place that I'm at is Aux Land, and I recently incorporated that into another business venture where I want to have like 2 or 3 different campsites that are kind of themed. Like one of them would be like 50s, where I have like a 50s style camper. and you know, like a car that doesn't run, but it's from the 50s, but it's just like sitting in a little, you know, half acre, and it's just like a fenced in enclosed campground. And then one for like the, I don't know, 70s or I don't know, themed. And then one of them like military style, where you're in a military looking camper, and then there's like one of those old Jeeps in there. But also for like people that are just traveling, because I've got over in my implement shed, it's got power to it, so you technically could pull up to it and hook up power to it. So when people are just traveling from, you know, like up north down through the middle of Tennessee, it could be a place that you could come stop and, you know, stay or camp for a night. Self-sufficient, obviously, because I don't really have facilities, but it could be like a stop on your trip. Patricia, you talking about the band? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like late '60s, early '70s era. Like some, it would the camp would actually have to be like a structure, and then like in the middle of the night, like every night around like 3 a.m., I just got these like tannerite explosions that happen, and then like automatic rifle fire off in the distance. I mean, for the whole experience, just so you could experience the, you know, everything. Van Gogh, there is somebody around here in Tennessee. There's a lot of parks and there's a lot of campgrounds, and there's one of them that I was trying to model it after, which is pretty successful. Um, yeah, and then have like air raid sirens go off every 2 hours. What up, that blue? But I thought it would be cool just to do one of them and see how it goes, and then maybe put another one in, and then another one, because I also want to put a range out here. We're doing fantastic. How are you? And I want to find some kind of thing that I can grow, some sort of produce that I could grow that doesn't need a whole lot of attention. Would be kind of cool. But anyway, that's kind of the idea. Like I started another business. It's it's not really like an incubator, but it's like comprised of other things that I'm trying to do out here that can fund AuxAuto. That blue, why don't you get some sleep? You ain't got to be hanging out in here. All right, as they say, uno más cerveza, and then we're gonna do a walk around. It's very 40s. Gene, did I ever tell you my affinity for old radio shows? Oh man, Sirius XM channel 148, Radio Classics. It's all radio shows, you know, before TV. And man, when I'm on drives, when I'm driving somewhere, I love listening to old radio shows. It'd be like one of these kind of music in the background. Yeah, so I showed up at the club, right? And there she was, sitting there staring at me. Wouldn't even say a word, but I wanted to talk to her, so I walked up to her and she told me to get out of here. The old detective shows. Oh man, yeah, it's great. It's cool because there's a picture of my grandfather and his brother. They did they were on like they when they were kids they modeled for like Sears catalog or something back in the early 40s, but it's them standing next to an old radio. But it's wild to think, before all of our technology, that people would sit around their living room and listen to the radio together. That's crazy to think about. Yeah, the old mafia. And there I was. The guy came up to me and he said, "I'm not going to give you your money." And I said, "Well, that's going to happen. And I'm sorry, I got to do this, champ." And all the sound effects that they use, it's great. What's up, Kevin? I'm just hanging out, a little change of scenery. I got too cold, so I wanted to come in here away from the cold because the shop's real cold. In my little memorabilia room. Here in a little bit, we're going to walk around this place. I'll show it to you because I'm proud of it, honestly. When I got this property, there was a bit of a critter issue. Oh God, I can't imagine, Kevin. When I say cold here, it's like 35 degrees. I'm sure you're probably looking at like 4. But there was a bit of a critter issue. But I don't know if you can tell, but all these walls in this whole building is metal, and I had to take every single panel off, take every single bit of insulation out, do some decon, and then buy the insulation and put it all back in there and then put the walls up. And it took a good month to do. I think I ended up with at one point like 98 55-gallon barrel liner bags of old insulation. $27. What car you got, Hayes? Oh, but even when Gina, even when I'm at the house, I'll put on radio classics and I'll just listen to that. I don't even have a TV in the living room. The only TV is when I'm live from the house, the one that I'm showing my YouTube on. Is that a BMW? Yeah, man, it's great. I don't know. I think the reason I like it so much because it's such a huge part of the entertainment business history. Because there's a lot of those people that did radio shows ended up doing, film and stuff. Mr. Gildersleeves. Who's the insurance guy? I can't think of it right now. Guy Noir. Yeah, that's right. Private Eye Guy Noir. And I wanted to do like one of those. So I make a lot of stupid videos, but I wanted to do like a time specific like period piece, like in the '68, with a 3-piece suit, where I'm delivering something, but it's, somehow it's an AuxAuto promo, but it's really heavy on like old radio shows, with the fedora hat. I told him I'd give him the money, but I didn't see him there. I had to chase him down. I had to track him down. Can you believe it? Johnny Dangerously. Oh, there was another Johnny that was on those silent radio shows. The insurance. Man, I can't think of it right now. All right, let's see if my dual camera will stay together. Oh, we're gonna switch these out too. Oh, there's my Dale Earnhardt thing. BG, I'm good. Over there on YouTube, how you doing? This was a bunch of 50s Chrysler ads, but it fell down. It's so sad. But this is just like a bunch of die-cast cars, things I never got rid of. License plates that my parents had when back in the state that I was born. My daughter got me that. That was one from I'm pretty sure that's from the 90s. The old Dukes. This is the build sheet for the 68 300. I think there's another one in there. Oh, Richie, do. The old red and white. Remember when they were metal? This is a little. I used to try to redo Hot Wheels, like repaint them and then crash them. Some VHS Duke stuff. It's right, Van Gogh, they are. And then Knight Rider Lunchbox. That right there was my first vehicle. 1990 Chevy Suburban. I have been trying to find it. I've tracked it down to a city in Tennessee. I have offered a cash reward if anybody can find it of a couple $100. But so far nothing, and I'm afraid it's gone. But I want to find this car. Here's a centerpiece. I've got a tire table. It's tires that's turned into a table. And then more stuff. I've got these are the ham radios. And then a lot of the cars that I have, I actually have like the brochures for them. That's the 74 New Yorker. This is the 68 300. That's the Imperial. This is a 74 like Chrysler sales brochure. Ham radio. This is a speaking of old stuff, Morse code generator. I got these from a friend from up in New York. I'm also into like that history of communication stuff. There's a story behind this sign. That little dent right there was caused by a beer can. We'll just leave it at that. Moving on. I painted this floor with Chrysler blue spray paint. This is the tractor barn. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's like sleet. Not the fridge. And I haven't showed this on any of my lives at all yet, but that's the 69 Imperial. The doors, the fenders, the front clip, everything, the engine is in the shop. The 440 is actually on a stand. It got bored out 30 over. It's a pretty solid car, except for some stuff that was intentionally damaged. But I've got a 69 Newport out in another structure that I'm gonna use parts for. I'm gonna use it for parts. Holy cow. Yeah, I just need to wash it. I've cut some of the stuff out. That was kind of why I got in trouble with the city in my little neighborhood that I actually live in, because I was cutting some of the metal out of the Newport for this car. And I guess somebody didn't like that so much and they complained. Which led to Auxland. I gotta lower these things. Hang on. No, it's fine. This is where I sleep. This is where I watch TV. And on another YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, this is where I do lives from. I used to do stuff for my my family genealogy from here, and also for our family foundation that we have, which I am currently the president of. Actually, I should just do lives from in here. But one thing I will point out, that lamp right there and this lamp right there are from my grandmother's house. That's her in one of those pictures, but it's kind of dark. She died last March. So I got stuff from grandma in here. And I still got some leftover like genealogy research stuff in here. No, Gina. Wow, you've been paying attention. No, this was my grandmother. The 1929 Ford was my great-grandmother's on my grandpa's side, which would have been, I don't think you can see it, but it would have been her husband, my grandpa's mom. And now I've got all the genealogy stuff moved to another location. Just for, we bought a safe to put everything in, which was a little more secure. But this is like my living room, bedroom. And then as you walk up the stairs, the stairway to heaven. It might get a little choppy up here. But I intentionally put blue lights in here. Originally, this was where I would do my editing and stuff. Keep all my electronics up here because it's closest to the AC unit, so it's more temperature controlled. But this is the music room. It goes to 11. They're pretty bad. Acoustics are pretty bad. But most of the time, this is an electronic set. So I just hook up the headphones, and then like if I record, if you see anything on like my personal pages or my music pages, it goes out of the computer, out of the brain, straight into the camera. So the acoustics don't matter. But then, I mean, then again, they wouldn't matter anyway, because it'd just be me jamming. The cymbals that I used to play with had a deal that if they broke within 2 years, you could send it back and get a new one. These are the ones that broke after the 2 years that I still hung on to for whatever reason. But I used to send cymbals back pretty frequently. But anyway, that's the jam room. In the storage room. Oh yeah, let's look at this. Oh, nope, not that. Who's this guy? A little bit more surgery, but anyway. Well, you seen the shop. You seen my living quarters. You're getting to know me a little bit too well. Yeah, it was probably cutting it up there. I've got another booster up there, so when I'm doing stuff, music stuff, I can just connect to it, but I don't want to switch networks. Anyway, that's the place for the most part. You've seen the shop. Now you've seen another portion of it. So again, thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I think the next time I'll probably be, I'm going to call it the blue room, because when I'm at the house, I think that room kind of emits like a blue vapor. Where YouTube playing in the background. But anyway, thanks for hanging out again. And then